Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
The cross goes, he's done it again. Taylor swings it for Victor Ulloa. It's one up. Ulloa and Taylor. Job done for Inter Miami. Led in by Moses. What? 6. It's 2 for Miami. Damian Lowell doubles the lead. Some days you can just sense something wicked this way it comes.
Are you ready, buddy? Are you ready to get this show started one more time, one more season for the fans, for the community? Are you ready?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. Are you ready? I mean, it feels like we just ended the show. We were talking about, you and I just leaving that playoff loss to NYCFC. Felt like we were just lamenting and celebrating the end of our last season, and here we go. We're going round and round and round again, ready to see what this club has to offer us this season.
I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ever ready, honestly, especially like with the off season and then trying to like get the rust off, get back in the mojo, catch up on all the news. Because honestly, like, hey man, I like that off season quite a bit. I get to relax, chill. Chloe loves it as well, so we're gonna give it a go. I don't know if I'm ever ready. I just trust the process, and I'll leave it in God's hands, baby. But welcome everyone to the Inter Miami podcast. We are back for season 4 here for La Familia, for the community, for the team, for anyone who is interested in getting into a little footy action. That is what we are here for. Let's get some extra fans this season. That's always the mission. Always the mission. I am getting beeps on my Discord. Let's turn that off. Than, man, I know we talk about every day, but let's just act like, we haven't talked in a few months. How you doing, man? What's new in your life?
Dude, not a whole lot. Riley's starting his futsal league. It's kind of a different vibe of, futsal, man. He fell on his backside a few times on that slippery court, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's he's looking back at me like, Dad, what the hell? And I'm like, hey, welcome to indoor soccer, dude.
This is it. Yeah. Is it true futsal? Like hard court, small ball? Like that's technical. That is great. Yep. That will help him a lot in the future. Excellent.
Yeah. He's very excited. He got his first game tomorrow. It's definitely been a change of pace, but I made the switch to overnight work, so we're going to make the Inter Miami podcast work the best way we can on the limited sleep schedule for me. But you also have a limited sleep schedule, sir. Congratulations are in order. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but go ahead, sir.
Yeah, girl dad now, man. Just our daughter was born January 3rd. Camille Renee Kington, one more to the old squad here. So yeah, sleep's been sketchy at best. So apologize if I have some lapses of memory or anything like that. But man, yeah, it's just been a great time. Obviously taking off work. I've been peed on, pooped on, thrown up on, and man, this is the life I love. This is why we're here. I'm very happy. I always wanted one boy, one girl. Here we are. We'll see what happens in the future. But so far, very happy, very pleased, very grateful, man. Feels good. Shout out Chloe. Chloe, man, what a champion she's been for not only 9 months, but even post birth, everything. She's just knocking out the park. She actually secured me a bottle of Weller 7-year. That's a bourbon for anyone that doesn't know. Very hard to find bourbon. So got a few fingers poured up here for the occasion to celebrate the kickoff of season 4. I'm fired up, man. I'm excited. It's always good energy coming into it. Sometimes during the season it gets a little rough. We got to pull it out of ourselves to get a show together. But hey, man, we got some good news. It's been a pretty exciting off season. A little slow to launch, but man, it feels like we are flying high right now. So before we get into really the new additions of the roster and cover, some of the more relevant news that's happened recently, I think we both want to kind of make an announcement to the community, to the listeners. And it's good, man, because we have been asked, people would love for us to record twice a week, whatever, pump out more content. It is tough when, we do have outside lives, outside jobs. We do the show for free. We do the show for the community. It's always going to be for the community. It's going to be by the community now, which is absolutely phenomenal. So we have a massive Discord growing now, hundreds of people in there, all types of topics being talked about nonstop every day. I keep my phone on do not disturb because that thing just vibrates all day with Discord. It's a really awesome thing we have. And we have some, day one listeners or some people that have really got involved, have reached out and wanted to help out in any area they can. And just to really give back to the fans and the communities who want that constant, content around different items. We are going to be expanding the Inter Miami podcast universe, and there will be additional shows to follow as well. And, we really look forward to it. We've got some really cool shows where we will share more details. Everything's being finalized. Everything's being worked out, but there is going to be quite a bit more content for everyone to digest, not just Inter Miami related, but also MLS related coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good time. We have a lot of knowledgeable folks across the board in our Discord and various different aspects of the beautiful game that we love so much. We're talking possibly some EPL. We're talking about some MLS. We're talking about multiple different facets of the game. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to watch our community grow and have us be able to bring more content to the fans and, capitalize on what they want.
Exactly. And we look forward to that. And we hope you guys do as well. So I guess without any further ado, there's been some pretty big news recently that obviously we're going to want to discuss. Have been, a couple of departures. We did have a massive overhaul. Really, you see that probably once in a decade out of any team in terms of, players dropped and brought in. So, we did lose a couple faces. We do still have, we do not still have our boy, but there is still hope. I would like for him to get involved in the club in some capacity, but RIP to the Lizard King, to the Viking God, to Mr. Breck Shea. I will personally miss you. I thank you so much for your service. You're always an absolute favorite. And also Jovan Jones. But hey, we got some really good news coming up, buddy. What outside of the obvious, we'll cover the obvious, but what's been your favorite? You're holding your finger up, so go ahead.
Well, are you just going to overlap Indy Vassilev leaving?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Woo! I could hear Trav tweaking right about now.
Yeah.
The fact that you didn't mention Indy.
There's some Indy lovers out there, man, for sure. My bad. Again,
no,
just sleep
it's
deprived.
all good.
It's been months.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we haven't lost him yet.
True, that is true. He has yet to sign with St. Louis. I will tell you, I got Riley a pack of those MLS Topps Finest cards, and the little shit pulled out an Indy Vassilev autographed card, and he goes, "Oh, this sucks." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, welcome to the pain." But no, so far, I would say, looking at the signings, there's so much to be excited about. There's so much unknown too. I feel like kind of last year there was cautious optimism because we weren't quite sure what we were getting. A lot of the players I'm seeing coming through are going to be great, and we're waiting on that big one. And it's not Messi, folks, but we're waiting on that big one. And I know I was hyped that we might be stealing one away from a quote unquote rival club. Hey, why don't we just go ahead and get into it then, dude?
A rival club who also owns the club that we like to own, which is Orlando City. We will get into that, though. Let's, you know what? We'll just start it from the top. Maybe this is chronological order. It's been quite a bit of time, but the one that, outside of the obvious, right? The one that I'm really excited about is Jake LaCava. Now, he is coming from the New York Red Bulls. He actually came out of the Barcelona Academy for a little bit of time. He's a young kid. He's age 21. Some of the sentiment once this happened was kind of the same sentiment that LA fans had with Bryce Duke leaving, was that this was a really talented young player that the club was wanting to develop and has quite a bit of potential. He really didn't have any starts for the first team, but he did play 46 games with 11 goals with New York Red Bulls too. But this man is a forward. I like his swag. He's yadded. He's got chaos tatted on his neck, dude. I'm feeling this kid. I really am. Young kid. If it's anything similar to Bryce Duke, we all know what Bryce Duke is, more importantly, what Bryce Duke will be. And I think a lot of people became fans of Bryce Duke last season. So really hoping that Jake LaCava can come out, play well again. Barca Academy in Arizona, also with the LA Galaxy in his youth career, New York in his youth career, and then on to the second team. And look, man, we need more forwards. We lost Gonzalo. And, for those that do not recall the intense hatred that I think most of the fan base had towards Gonzalo for the first half of the season. And then, Leo went down. Leo went down with an injury, and we didn't really have a true striker, not someone who could come up and pick up that level of production. But thankfully, Gonzalo came in, saved my preseason prediction, 16 goals. My man was just on fire, reclaimed the love and admiration of all of La Familia. But guess what? Homeboy was getting old, a lot of tread on those tires, and he ultimately did retire after that, short-lived playoff run, if you want to call it that. So we do need strikers. We do need attacking options. And LaCava, from what I understand, right? And, I'm not going to go too much into highlight reels because, again, it's you give me a week and I can put together the sickest skateboard mixtape you've seen, right? But he can play kind of wing, centralized as well. So I think he's going to be another addition to grow. I think it's great for him to be behind Campana and behind the other gentleman we'll be getting to shortly to really gain some experience. But, hypothetically, if we didn't have Gonzalo last season, we lost Leo like that for many weeks. We probably don't make the playoffs because we didn't really have anyone who could consistently score goals. It's still, 2 seasons away from Emerson's MVP run. He's going to develop into something beautiful, but it's going to take time. But yeah, so, look, I'm all for it. Young stud. They traded him to us in exchange for $150K of GAM general allocation money. He was selected in the 2022 MLS expansion draft by St. Louis SC, and that's who we acquired him from. So it was not a protected player from New York Red Bulls. He was swooped by St. Louis City. Hendo worked his magic, said, yep, we'll take him. Here's some money. Go build your roster. Sketchy roster build, in my opinion, but whatever. Best to him. We'll take the player. What are your thoughts, bud?
You know what? I actually watched the highlights of him on his loan spell at Tampa Bay, and even the Tampa fans were extremely upset to see him not come back. And he looks like a player. He's got that instinctive movement in the box where he's going to get where he needs to be to get the service, to get something in on goal.
Yeah.
But more importantly, good young player who's going to add depth and bring in hopefully some of that Barca Academy knowledge as well as his time with the LA Galaxy. It's going to be one of those. And I shouldn't just discount the Red Bull Academy either, because they're obviously pretty good. They're pumping out some pretty good players as of late. But it's going to add a different dynamic to not only the first team, but most likely the second team when he's down with Inter Miami 2 for the season. So I watch his growth very closely, and I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, and so notable, right? So 2020 to 2021 with Red Bulls 2, 46 appearances, 11 goals. Loaned last season, so in 2022, 34 appearances for the Rowdies, 13 goals. So you're already seeing that improvement, right? He's already increasing his efficiency by, I don't know, probably quick math, 25%, something like that. So he's going to continue to grow. He will have the opportunity to develop. I expect something similar to what we saw last season with Valencia, Romeo, well, not even Romeo, but Harvey, rather, Ami Mabika, where we're Jovan Jones playing as like a winger or a striker for Inter Miami too. So we're going to have this kind of rotating system where if you're not going to be utilizing the game plan, if there's no injuries, then you're probably going to get sent to Inter Miami too, get some development, get some experience. And I would like to note as well that the Tampa Bay Rowdies are one of the better teams in the USL, in addition to Louisville City. Shout out Louisville, Kentucky. You guys are beautiful. So, I mean, fairly similar competition to MLX's next. I'd argue probably maybe even a little bit more intense. So a lot of room to grow, bright future form, and we can use the attacking options. Now, obviously, let's move on a little bit. What was one of the glaring issues of last season? Sketchy back line. So we need to bring in support for our back line, obviously, right? Now we've made some additions. Here's how this game works, right? If you score more than your opponent, you win. You could have a sketchy back line, but you really got to have a mean front. I'm kind of, hinting towards something coming later in the show, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. But we are bringing in Franco Negri. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Negri, something like that. Who is plays left back or left midfielder. He is from San Martin, Argentina. Little guy, like little Messi, 5'7", man. God bless you. That foot curves beautifully to that ball. And he is coming over from Godoy Cruz. Even as a defender, this guy has he's played quite a few games. Really, time seems to be increasing every season outside of injuries. Played for Newell's Old Boys, Belgrano, Independiente. So I don't know, man. I can't really make too much of a judgment. We will definitely take extra bodies. We know we were thin at the back line outside of some of the silly errors we made. So just another addition. I don't want to sit over here and overboast. I don't want to undersell this man, but hey, full faith in Hendo. We certainly need a left back, a true left back. McVay can play every position in that back line. We know that. We'd like to utilize him where he's most comfortable, more centralized. So we do need a good left back. And from what I've been hearing, this guy could be the truth. This guy could be legit our starting left back in the first game of the season.
So I will say that the Godoy fans were absolutely gutted from what I was seeing on Twitter. They were upset that they were losing such a player. And let's be honest, a certain Lisandro Martinez has proven that the Argentinian defenders don't need to be the biggest. I don't think he'll be another butcher like Lisandro, but he'll definitely come. He'll definitely be coming at you with reckless abandon. So, but no, joking aside, I think it's a good depth piece. I'm interested to see how they rotate what we have with the left back, what that means for Noah going forward. If they're going to have Chris McVay over in the left back spot until we see what Franco has. I mean, it raises a lot of questions. It does answer some of them, but we can only speculate, and February 25th is going to tell a whole hell of a lot, isn't it?
It certainly is. And if he is, if he's what he is advertised as being, he's only 27 years old. Now, yes, that might be a little shorter than what you want out of a back, but he's a left back. So, he'll get up there. He can, contribute to the attack. He can assist, going forward, moving the ball up the field. So, look forward to it. Only 27, this guy, if he's the truth, we'll be here for a few years and we'll look forward to it. Now, there's another Argentinian that a lot of people are very excited about. He is just 1 year older. He's 28 years old. His name is Nicolas Marcelo Stefanelli. He's an attacking midfielder and striker, another versatile player, another great pick by Chris Henderson. If we can get these guys that can play winger and striker, beautiful. We have some wingers, but they can't really play striker. So if we can get those hybrid roles going, then we'll be good. It'll help with any injuries because let's be honest, the season is long. The season is grueling. Injuries will happen. We already know a few of our players are going to be catching yellow card suspensions. Gregory, we love you, buddy. And you stay that pit bull you are, but you're going to miss a couple games, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I accept that on the front end. Even shorter, but he's just an attacker, so we'll let it slide. So we're getting two body type clone Messi's over here. 5'5.5" they're being generous, give him that extra half. He is coming from AIK. If anyone doesn't know who they are, they're a Swedish club. They're one of the more well-known Swedish clubs. If you follow the Almana Idrottsklubben, that's what it stands for. I think I pronounced that right. Anyway, 58 appearances from 2021 to 23. 58 appearances, 21 goals. Guy has a decent record. He was away for like 1 year, put up 30 appearances with 9 goals, and then was with AIK prior to that. Did some loan spells though, but 34 for 15. So this guy's got a pretty decent conversion ratio, looking like probably overall throughout his career, sliding around the 40% mark. This is someone that a lot of people are very high on as well. He joined on a 2-year deal. So we're going to have him around for this season and for next. He is dual national. He holds an Italian passport. I know this is an audio format, so they can't see my Italian hands I'm throwing up, as well as an Argentinian passport. Grew up in Argentina, though. Nickname Chicho and Nico by his Swedish teammates. Chicho in Argentina, Nico by his Swedish teammates. So whatever name you want to use, I hope we grow to love this kid.
Well, the one thing that you're missing out of all of this with Stefanelli is he was actually teammates with Robbie Taylor at AIK in Sweden.
Ooh.
And the boys, if you are looking on Instagram, they are happy to be back together. So, I mean, if it unlocks a new dimension to Robbie Taylor's game, watch out, because
Just
he was
slaying South Beach.
Oh, he was
Yadded as well, dude. They're both yadded. I love it. I've been saying this, bro. We need more neck tats. I want more neck tats on Inter Miami. I want swag. I want cockiness, but like at a respectable level. I don't want someone that's just a cocky a-hole, but like bring that swag, and I think we're getting it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And I don't know. I'm happy seeing that they're all bonding pretty well over the past couple of days in preseason training for what it looks like. Minus one sulking man over in the corner who you're extremely high on this season. But you know, it's going to be good for the team. We're seeing a lot of players buying in, and you know, the common meme around the social media sites for Inter Miami is let Hendo cook, let him keep cooking. And it sounds like he's got a hell of a main dish cooking up coming up here soon.
Yeah. So, you know, since I know you're very big into, I believe it's the AAC, wherever Xavier's from, why don't you go ahead and what are your thoughts on our super draft pick of the keeper, Cole Jensen?
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all right, I'm just going to go out here. There was enough Syracuse players that were out there who just won the national championship. Shout out to my Orange back home winning the national title. Yeah, I usually like to say I know some of the folks who were coming out of the draft this year, and when we drafted him, I all I can say was who.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's one of the best keepers to come out of Xavier, but Xavier, to me personally, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but that's not a major soccer powerhouse in my mind. So,
do you know what city Xavier's in?
No.
That's fair. Oh, I do, because they're an hour away from Louisville. They're in Cincinnati. A couple of my best friends, homies, day ones grew up with, went to Xavier.
Dude, I should have known that, because Cincinnati and Xavier, don't they have a rivalry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At least in basketball. Like there was it was like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, like they went fisticuffs and like it was a big brawl on the basketball court. Xavier's more of a basketball school for sure. But Cole, you know, he was named U.S. Soccer Coaches NCAA Division I Men's All-American. I can run through some of these highlights, but some of the notables is he was the third musketeer. That's what they are, the Xavier Musketeers, to earn Big East Goalkeeper of the Year honors. Just accolades wise, it was round one, first round pick of the Super Draft, pick overall 18. 2022 US D1 Men's All-American third team. 22 US Coaches All East Region first team selection. 2022 Big East, not ACC. Big East first team selection. Big East Goalkeeper of the Year. He was an Adidas MLS College Showcase participant. postseason best 11 first team selection, 2-time Big East goalkeeper of the week, 5-time Big East weekly honor roll selection. So he's kind of smart. He's got good grades. Xavier's a pretty good school, I'm not going to lie. 20 to 21, 21 to 22, all Big East, all academic team. Man's got some brains on him. A little upset about this pick. Nothing against Cole Jensen. It just seemed like that wasn't the area that we really needed. But, hey, credit to Hendo. He's made some moves to put me at ease. So that's what it is.
I mean, I probably should have, like I said, looked this kid up a little bit more. He was ranked number 2 as the goalkeepers coming out in this current class, including ahead of Russell Shealy, who was from Syracuse. So, I mean, again, to your point, I think we should have addressed another area, but it is what it is. Hendo has proven time and time again that he is capable of making the right moves, aka Mr. Sailor himself. So I'm going to say, hey, surprise me.
Hey, well, here, guess what? There's another one that we drafted at an even later round, which, I don't really pay too much attention to all of the college athletics out there in the world of footy. But Bashir Ndiaye, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Probably pronouncing it right. Senegalese, born in Senegal, though. You started 15 to 16 games as a junior. Got 5 shots, 2 on goal. The following season or season before that appeared in 3 games. First season with the Seahawks. There's not too much on this. He's a midfielder. Very young. I don't expect to see really much of him. He was named to the CAA championship all tournament team. I don't know, first team, 4th on the team with 14 shots. He'll take a shot. This is one that I expect to be really sent to Inter Miami 2 in just developing. But now coming out of Inter Miami 2, someone that a lot of the fans are very high up on, and so are some potential national teams. We're talking about Benji Kremeshi. That's your boy. I know you've followed him for quite some time. Tell us why you're so excited on Kremeshi.
So it's a couple things. First off, he plays out of his mind in the midfield spot for Inter Miami too. He's constantly in the mix no matter what is going on the field. For Inter Miami 2 last year, he played in 13 games. He tallied 5 goals and 1 assist. And when you look at it, you're like, okay, the stat line doesn't really pop to you, but it's, I hate using this word, but it's the intangibles. He's moving into space. He's creating the room for other players to move. He's making the passes that need to be made. And obviously it's a huge nod to what we see in him when Javier Mascherano is calling up from the Argentinian U20 squad and hand selecting him out of our academy. He's the only, I want to say he was the only U.S.-based Argentinian to get a call-up for that squad. And he actually did make the squad as well. And he also has the possibility of playing for the U.S. U20 squad here in the 2023 FIFA U20 World Cup in Indonesia. So it's going to be really interesting to see who he decides to play for. And from what I'm seeing for the U.S. men's national team group, at least at this age group, a lot of people are pissed that they haven't secured him already. Just knowing the talent that he can be. So
13 appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist. Looks like a solid stud coming out of Weston FC Academy. Looks like club option 2-year deal here. So attacking midfielder, central midfielder. Looks like he can get up, play forward a little bit as well if needed. Fairly young kid. What is he? 17 years old. So a lot of room for growth. Here's like, where do you see him fitting in? Right. He's already played with Inter 2 and the MLS is next. Do you still see that kind of, back and forth between Inter Miami 2 and first team? Is he just going to continue to develop? We've seen the club sign Ascona, sign Valencia, and then just send him right back down, really. I feel like it's mainly for training purposes as far as growing with the first team. But, what are your expectations here?
My expectations are that they cultivate the talent that they know they have in the right manner, by allowing him to train with the first team, getting him extensive playing time with the second team, and allowing him to not only grow with the first team and take their knowledge, but also spread that knowledge amongst the rest of the kids and young men that are down on the Inter Miami 2 squad. Honestly, it sucks for him right now because our midfield's pretty well stacked up as we stand, including Franco being added in as another midfield presence. So I don't know, and you can't forget Pizarro's back, so that's another midfielder to a degree, depending on the day. So I say by 2024 we'll start seeing Cremaschi up. By 2025, I think he's a permanent fixture if he maintains the current trajectory that he's on.
Fair enough. All right, so we will get to Pizarro, as well as Pozuelo. Some good news coming. It feels right. It feels right with Pozuelo. But look, let's get to the big news. Everyone and their mother wants to cover this, right? And it's just a complete revelation. Suck it, Max Ramos. I love it. You're a traitor. You went over to switch to Atlanta. Then, hey, guess who's coming to Inter Miami? And I thought it was a little suspicious. He decided to play Inter Miami and dye his hair pink. I'm talking about the one and only Josef Martinez, who won. It was an MVP. This man won the MVP in 2019 season. Or I guess that's incorrect. 2018. So now we're looking at potentially Pozuelo, previous MVP, 2020, Martinez, 2018. Beautiful. This man is a proven commodity. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a stat that like every time he's played against Inter Miami, he's scored or something ridiculous. We know that he absolutely owns Orlando. This man's stats are phenomenal. 131 appearances for Atlanta United. Well, actually, technically 134 if we're counting the very short loan spell coming from Torino. So that would put him at basically 134 appearances, 98 goals. This man basically scores in well over half the games. I don't know what that percentage is off the top of my head. Probably 65, somewhere around there. Quick math, probably wrong on that. Man, I'll tell you what. Look, he's coming off an injury. He's had some beef with his coach. We all know about the Arroz con Pollo incident where he flipped over that table of lovely Arroz con Pollo. Beautiful dish. But he has not been happy up there. The injury also kind of hampered him. That team has struggled. They really have been missing some key players trying to rebuild. This is not official, but all signs are pointing that this is a done deal. We're expecting this announcement really probably potentially Monday. Well, no, that's MLK Day. Tuesday morning, something like that. Very, very soon. We're waiting on Atlanta to officially buy him out so we can acquire him. He is a DP player through and through, and we're doing that Hendo magic, getting him on a TAM deal. I don't think anyone who is an Inter Miami fan and pays attention to this league is in any way upset. I'd say it's the exact opposite. They are just ecstatic through the roof to have Josef Martinez join this team. Come on, are you kidding me? Campana, who, if he didn't get injured, has a legit shot at league MVP. He was right up there with, Juissi, with Mukhtar before he got injured. If you're telling me, and it's very, very small chance they both can make a full season without getting injured, because again, it's a long season, but we're going to have a lot of depth with some power up top. But you tell me these two up top in whatever you want to do, 4-4-2 diamond, 4-2-2-2. Even as a 4-2-3-1, this man can play as a winger. He is a 7. He can play as a striker. That's where he's really made his money, is just banging in goals. It was something ridiculous. How many he set the record before Mr. Carlos Vela wanted to come break it with, I think it was 34 goals. And when was that? 2019, the season right before Inter Miami started. He banged in 31 goals. So, put this dude in. He's basically going to score. The question is, can he stay injury free? Can he buy into the system? Can he, I don't want to say, a lot of people are saying, can Phil handle his ego? He's a professional player. Okay. He's here. I feel like same situation with Pozuelo. There was beef growing at the club. He wasn't happy. He made a move. I think Phil handled that beautifully. I think Pozuelo came in with a very open and clear mind and made an immediate impact once he joined. And I think that's going to be the case with Josef Martinez. With those two up top, Campana, Martinez, bring it back to the midfield, right? Pozuelo, Pizarro which we'll get into. I don't even want to. I'm so sick of people hating on this dude. Gregory, Mota. Our back line is going to improve. I still expect some sketchy moments. I still expect some goals where we're shaking our head, arms up in the air, like, what the heck was just that? But the way you play this game is you score more goals than your opponent, you take the 3 points. And with these two up top, that is arguably the most feared duo in the league right now today. And could not be happier to have this stud on the team. I remember last season, season before, I was like, man, just imagine if we had a player like Josef Martinez, and now here he is. Let's go. How do you feel about this? Are you about as through the roof as I am? Because I cannot wait to see him and Campana on the pitch at the same time.
So, not patting myself on the back on this one, but I caught wind of this pretty damn early, and I was trying to type and get this onto our social media, and I was so excited I was misspelling half of the words. I had to go back and double check shit because I've been a fan of Josef Martinez for a while, and why not? Why wouldn't you be a fan of the 2018 MVP? He also, and this is often overlooked with him, he had the most decorated single season in MLS history for a player in 2018 by winning the league MVP, the All-Star MVP, the Golden Boot, and the MLS Cup final MVP, and then turned around and almost won it again the next season.
Yep. And he holds the record for most consecutive goals or games with a goal at 15 games in a row with putting one in. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, is the injury risk a little concerning? Yeah, sure. But it's also super enticing. It's Josef Martinez. Who the hell wouldn't want him up top? Like, think about, Martinez, Campana, whoever you want on the wings. Let's say Taylor and Emerson Rodriguez, or I'm sure I'm missing something here. Our midfield solid that we already talked about. It's going to be fun football to watch. It's going to be an absolute blast. And it's going to be nice knowing that, let's say, God forbid, one of those two goes down. We can just play a single up top and totally shift the formation, and our quality is still going to be there. If this doesn't get you excited, you need to call your doctor, call 911, because I do not believe you have a pulse.
This is absolutely phenomenal. The flexibility we're going to have in our formations is going to be amazing. I feel like Phil has really kind of stayed more kind of tight through the middle. But yeah, I think we're going to see two up top, probably Pozuelo behind. I think we're going to see probably some diamond action. I hope Pizarro's on the left because he's a left mid. And we'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, if one of them goes down, we go to one up top. We bring on two wingers. Phil's got a problem on his hand. How are you going to play all these players? What formation are you going to use? And I'll tell you what, that is a very, very good problem to have on your hands, because we have been so thin up top for so long, and now we feel fairly comfortable. We know what our midfield's capable of. We've got to improve on the back line. The moves are being made. There's still plenty of time, still several weeks left for Hendo to work that magic. So this is just about as good as it could get, man. I mean, you're getting such a known commodity. I think he's going to fit in the system well. Pozuelo will have a field day just supplying balls to both Campana and Josef Martinez. Unless he gets seriously injured or Campana does, this is going to be a very fun, attacking, high-scoring team. That's just, it has to be. I don't see any other way. I don't see how it would not be.
The only thing that upsets me about this is that we will not get to see the marauding Damian Lowe from the back line running up the pitch at the striker formation, or at the top of the formation of striker. That hurts my soul. I enjoy those days.
People can get injured. It could happen. Dude, you never know.
I'll never forget sitting in the stands. I forget if it was, I think it was New York Red Bull, and I see Lowe leading the charge. I look over at Riley. I'm like, what the absolute hell is happening here? So, as much as I'm joking, it'll be great to have all this attacking presence. And again, worst case scenario, who steps in?
Yeah.
Stefanelli steps in.
Yep.
Oh,
Coco.
darn. Okay. Or, well, don't talk about our fashion model like that. He's out there repping the latest gear on social media, and then they put him back into the box so he doesn't get injured. So
nobody puts maybe in a corner.
Well, they put baby in the corner as soon as he signed that contract. So, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Why don't we just get to the elephant in the room? Because there's a lot of heaviness in the air about this one. Let's talk about your boy, your your favorite here who's coming back.
Pizarro. Look, man, I just everyone thought he was coming back or we were going to buy him out or get rid of him. It just didn't work out. He struggled with his, loan last season. They didn't want to buy him. I think it was like 30 appearances, like 1 goal or something very bad like that. Look, man, I had the original Rosa Negra kit. We all know if you bought an authentic or even a replica, you all know how bad that vinyl refuses to stick onto the jersey and the kit rather. And I took it in, was able to get it repaired, repressed, and I felt good about it. And then the news came and it looks like he's staying here. Everyone's hating on this man. Everyone wants to see him gone. And it blows my mind how much hatred everyone has for this man when he was literally the only person we had in season 1. He was our entire team. He scored the first ever goal for the club. This man runs like an Energizer rabbit, like a Labrador or a retriever chasing a tennis ball. This man leaves it on the pitch. He gives it his all. Yes, he struggled, especially season 2. I mean, he struggled, honestly, season 1 because we were forcing him to be the 10. He's not a 10. He's a left winger. He's not supposed to be the go-to guy, the creationalist to control the whole team. This man is supposed to be a winger to help with the attack and be free to play as he wants. Fast forward to season 2, we all know Neville was playing people out of position, including Pizarro. There was, there's this rumored beef between Pizarro and Higuain, which I think is mainly just two competitive dudes occasionally voicing frustrations with one another. I don't think is an intense beef or hatred. I think it's been blown up well beyond, what it should be. But if we just play him as a left wing, I think good things will come. We also saw Lewis Morgan forced to play right wing back, and Lewis Morgan died for this team. He died for these sanctions so that we could try and build some around, basically clearing all the sanctions by just giving them to the Red Bulls, which still brings me pain, and I want Lewis back. But I think with Gonzalo gone, with Pozuelo, Gregory Moda behind him, protecting that back line, and not to mention Campana, Joseph, Kremeshi, Ari, Emerson, Coco, I mean, Stefanelli, like he's not going to have to be the most talented guy on the field every single game anymore. And I think there is a serious redemption arc that is in his hands now. And I expect, and I've said this in the Discord and people think I'm crazy, if we can get 1,500 minutes out of Pizarro, maybe less than that, 1,300, 1,400. I think this man puts up 8 goals. I think he puts up around an equal number of assists, if not more. In second season, he had 7 assists. In the worst season probably in Inter Miami history, he put up 7 assists. Do you know who led assists last season? It was actually Bryce Duke. Bryce Duke was the lead assist master, followed by Pozuelo with 6. Now, Pozuelo, to be fair, shout out Contra, because he's going to probably harass me for the next week. Only played half a season. But this man still put up 7 assists in the second season, the worst season, being played out of position again. I think there's a serious chance here for him to whip some balls in to Joseph, to Leonardo, to other wingers. I think he can come into the box late, get dished, and finished. I've seen this man hit one-time volleys. We've seen him score some pretty nice goals for the club. I don't understand the hatred. He's already on our roster. He's already taken up that DP money. Why not play him? Why buy him out? Why waste the money? We don't need to waste the money. Okay, we need to save our money and use it as best as we can. Why not give him a shot? He's got 1 more year left on his contract. It's similar to the Pozuelo situation. Give him a 1-year trial. If this man impresses everyone, and then all the people that have this unfounded hatred of this man who has given quite a bit to the club, so much effort and energy, all will eat that. And you can call me an idiot all day long. But, midway through the season, if we're seeing some results and some numbers and he's being a key contributor, then tuck that away. and be supportive. I don't understand the hatred. He had a bad loan spell. People have bad loan spells. It happens. Get over it. This man was good for us. He can be good for us again. He's still young. They act like he's 34. What is he? 28, 27? He's young. Like, let's go. I am all in on Pizarro this season with the players we have now in the system we're going to play. All in. I am fully confident. And I'll probably eat crow at the end of the season if it doesn't happen. But I'm going to flip this on you, and I'm going to let them all know, all the hatred I've been seeing, I'm going to let them know you're an idiot.
First off, sir, you and I are going to have some words. How dare you discredit Lewis Morgan's 2020 season by saying that Rodolfo Pizarro was the only player that Inter Miami had that season?
No, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
You
corrected me on that twice. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
you cannot talk poorly about St. Morgan like that. Don't do it again. All right.
I'm sorry, Veronica.
We do love you, Veronica, if you're listening. But yeah, so I think a lot of the frustration, I don't want to say hatred. I don't hate Pizarro. I was, as I've said multiple times, I was in the stand. I got to share that moment with my wife and my son when I got to see Inter Miami's first ever goal in person. I will always hold that near and dear to my heart. It's a moment that I will cherish. With that being said, I think the frustration with Pizarro lies in the fact, and I just said this today in the Discord, he was supposed to be the face of the franchise, of a fledgling franchise, and he kind of almost looked like he just ducked away from the responsibilities that he needed to maybe, I don't know, pull the rope, pull everybody together, keep them going. And I don't know. I think hatred's too strong of a word. I know I've been very critical of Pizarro, and if he does well, great. You know what? I'm not going to talk shit because I ate too much crow last year, and Drake made me a believer. I hope Pizarro does well. I do. I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't know. I saw some highlights from his, and they really should be called lowlights, from his loan spell, and they were comical at points where he was passing the ball and there was no supporting player within 30 yards, rolls out of bounds.
That's what Emerson does.
Well, yeah, but
we love Emerson.
You love Emerson. I am supportive of Emerson.
I like Emerson, but there's people that are like extremely high and absolutely love Emerson.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Emerson also scored probably one of the more outrageous goals last year by like bouncing off of his butt, trying to just kick it and flailing in the air there. But
don't give up.
Yeah, you don't give up. I'm going to be supportive. I will be supportive of Pizarro. I will be. If he wants to come in and wants to show that renewed vigor, cool. If he wants to be the guy who moped around the locker room and then somehow got added to an all-star roster for doing nothing.
Well, to be fair, he was like one of the hottest up-and-coming talents out of Mexico. That's undeniable. He was supposed to be one of the next big Mexican stars. And like, he was on the right track, man. But sometimes you fall off. And look, this is America. What is America like? They love the downfall. They love talking their shit. They love trying to act like they're experts and they know everything and ridiculing people, because that's just the toxicity that is being an American. But you know what they love more than that? A good comeback story. And this man has the chance to really revive his career in playing freely in the position he should be playing freely and on a team of real talent where he's not one of two guys who are the only people who can actually dribble. This man's got handles. Like, probably my favorite highlight is him against Toronto 2021 when he left Sing just on skates, dude. Just broke this man. It was replayed by MLS, Facebook and Twitter socials for months, dude. This dude still has skills. I'm not going to judge his bad loan spell. I just want everyone out there who thinks I'm crazy or hates this man to know when he scores and he puts his fingers inside of his mouth and does that Joker celebration, he's laughing at you.
I mean, he can laugh at me all he wants, but I'm still
not
struggling.
You. I'm talking about like the actual haters.
No, I understand.
You're a realist, at least.
I'm trying to be a realist. I'm still Yeah. Okay. I'm just not going to open my mouth any further than I was going to. I wish him well. I hope he does well. You still didn't deserve to go to the All-Star game in 2021, and is what it is. Again, if he comes back and he does well, I'm here for it. I'll support it. If he doesn't do well, I'm just going to look at you at the end of the season and tell you I told you so.
He's dropping 8, bro. I feel it. I feel it, man. I feel like I felt the 10 out of 14 of the over-unders last season. A broken clock is right twice a day, and I'm feeling like a broke boy. I am feeling like a broke boy. I don't know why. I feel this is coming. I've always liked him. I've always liked the effort. He runs. He'll give it to you. I think he's a little out of shape, but he'll snap back together. The only concern here is what's Phil's utilization. Does Phil hold a grudge? Is there some beef there? I think if he, again, plays 1,500 minutes, we're going to see about 8 goals, probably equal number of assists. There is too much talent there. It doesn't just go away after a year. It doesn't go away after a year. Look at Joseph, 31 goals, whatever in the season, and then, he doesn't have the best season, last. It's like it happens, man. It happens. So I'm not going to get that. I could be wrong.
I get that, but I'm more concerned about the fact that he's coming in, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to be. My concern is that he could possibly be a disruption to the unity and the gel that we already have with some of the players on the team. Look at the photo from the, hey, we're back, check it out, we're at team meetings. He's sitting off in a corner by himself.
I think he knows what the perception is. I think he knows this is probably the best shot he has ever redeemed in his career. So yeah, he's got a chip on his shoulder. I want him to have a chip on his shoulder. I think he knows, like, hey, to me, I saw that photo. To me, it was like, no distractions, no one's around me. I'm buying in. I'm focused right now. I'm going to figure out how to get my career back on track, how to redeem myself. So I kind of took the opposite view of that situation. I don't think there's this animosity that the media is hyped up between him and the team. I think he is obviously undoubtedly one of the most talented players on the team, right? I mean, he was a DP for a reason. His track record honestly does, speak for itself. This guy, again, was one of the hottest up-and-coming talents. He came into a bad team who broke the rules, and he had to kind of suffer the consequences. He wasn't our first, second, or third option from Paul McDonough for our main DP signing year one. He's kind of what was available, had a pretty good reputation, still was everyone's hero in season 1. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. This is going to be something that's very interesting. I'm going to be very interested in this, and I really do hope for the best. And I hope that all the haters just have to sit there and suffer and realize that maybe you got a little bit too much toxicity in your blood. But moving forward, last one we're going to talk about, Mr. Alejandro Pozuelo. We know he is not currently with the team, quote unquote, signed with the team or under contract with the team. He is seeking a DP deal. We're trying to go, basically max TAM, which, to be fair, did we talk about that? Yeah, we did talk about Joseph being on a max TAM deal. So right now, like, Gregory is the other DP right now. We can buy him down if we're acquiring another DP. I don't think he's like super high above the threshold. So that's a possibility. But, as it stands right now, Campana's the under 22 DP, or the young DP, Pizarro, and then Gregory. Now, there's some workable room here. You can have 3 of the under 22 initiative DPs, all that good stuff. They're good till like they're 25. So there's still some moves to be made here. But hey, if we can get Pozuelo on a TAM deal, which I think if we can get Joseph on a TAM deal, that's going to better our chances of getting Pozuelo on a TAM deal. And if we have these 4 main, right, it will include Gregory, these 5 main. If we have Joseph, we have Leonardo Campana, Pizarro, Pozuelo, Gregory, Mota. I think that's a pretty damn stellar team any way you cut it. We're looking for this to be pretty much wrapped up in about probably a week or 2, something like that. We'll expect the Joseph Martinez signing to happen before that. We know what we're getting with Pozuelo, right? It was basically a try before you buy. He was a DP in the past. He still wants to be a DP, but I think he's going to buy into the system. I think he is, honestly, out of any of these players that we've mentioned, the most crucial that we sign. We know what he does. He was the catalyst. He was the spark we needed. He was the maestro that Gonzalo needed to thrive. And I think that there will be some early struggles if we do not get him back on this team. I don't want to scare anybody. It's looking like he's coming back, but I think the utmost importance of this, outside of Josef, probably the biggest impact to the team, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that we're going to see this announced as soon as they figure out a way to make the Josef Martinez and Pozuelo deals make sense for the club financially without, restraining us long term to potentially aging horses. You know what I mean? I'm excited for Pozuelo to come back. He brings that fire, brings the energy, brings the ancient kung fu karate to the team. He's he's definitely a fan favorite. I know I fell in love with the guy. I'll never forget. I think it was New York City where he hit that game-winning goal and just threw his jersey off. Laid his heart to bear in front of La Familia. Everybody's going absolutely wild. It's our guy. Yeah, I don't know. That's our guy. Yeah. And the problem is, though, we're starting to get a lot of the players on the team that's our guy. Like, oh yeah, I love Robbie Taylor. That's my guy. Drake Callender. That's my guy. Like, we're starting to get that team that we always wished we had. So hopefully they can lock up Pozuelo, make it 100% good to go, and get it done ASAP. That's all I'm asking for. Get it done ASAP. It should be pointed out that he has been seen around the training facility. And there was an article that we posted from his agency stating they are trying like hell to get this done.
Yeah, he wants to be here. It's going to happen. And maybe we overlooked this, but all of this under sanctions. Like, I'm like, I trust Henderson a lot. This, like, honestly, I know the league. They don't like us very much. They might investigate us. This is just the most amazing offseason movement that anyone could have hoped for, being under sanctions for yet another year, right? And Phil Neville gets another year as well. So here we are. Now we've got a team that I think we are really high up on. Some people are saying top 4 projections. The season is going to start off, and we're going to, not the easiest start, but we're going to get at it. We're going to bang. And I think that we've got the depth and we can make the adjustments. I really think we're going to see Phil really start to make, halftime adjustments or early second half adjustments. He has the options. So I think he's going to be really analytical, very technical in what he's seen on the pitch. Whatever his game plan is, whether we're, going for pressing, playing up the middle, playing the wings, whatever it is, he will have the flexibility to make some moves and best serve this team. And man, it's exciting times. I'm not gonna lie. And like technically, there is still a chance that Pizarro is offloaded somewhere and we get another DP, or that we buy Gregory down and still get another DP. There's still plenty of time left, but damn, this feels so great for right now. That's enough beating this one, though. Let's move forward. We do have a preseason coming up. Why don't you run us through what this preseason schedule looks like? Because there's currently, it's not preseason for Inter Miami, but there's currently a game going on at Drive Pink Stadium right now between Millonarios and River Plate of Argentina.
Yeah, so the Inter Miami schedule is pretty much littered with various different levels of teams that we could see. It's definitely going to be a good tune-up for the boys. As you alluded to, there's a game going on at Drive Pink right now. Then we are going to have a game coming up here in just about, 8 days from now. On the 21st, we play Vascos. I'm not familiar with the club. Are you, sir?
Vasco da Gama. Honestly, to be fair, no. I mean, I'm not even sure if they were in the Brazilian, first league when I was in Brazil, because it's all like Grêmio, Cruzeiro, Sao Paulo, Palmeiras, Flamengo, Santos, stuff of that nature. So I'm honestly not too familiar with Vasco. The club was saying like the historic Vasco. So, I'm not super familiar with really any of their players, Vasco da Gama. It'll be interesting. You can never sleep on a full squad of Brazilians, man. They're going to be that's all in it. That's all they do. That's all they care about, right? Is kicking balls around. So it'll be, I think it'll be a good game. I would ideally have liked to see one of the bigger Brazilian club names like Palmeiras or Corinthians. Really any of those, honestly. Santos, you name it. So I think it'll be a good challenge for the club. I think it's a challenge that we've a really good shot of winning, right? So it'll be fun to see. It really will be fun to see. It is January 21st.
Yes, sir. January 21st. You can buy tickets for this match on Inter Miami's website currently. So take an opportunity to get out there and see the boys early on. After that, we play on the 25th in a closed-door match versus FIU. Go Panthers. And 28th, we actually have I wish we could see this one because it'd be a good look to see. We do play St. Louis City on the 28th closed-door scrimmage. The club spends a little bit of time up in Sarasota. And then February 2nd, they have a closed-door scrimmage between I don't know what word we really want to use with this one. Ever evolving and changing New England Revolution. They definitely had a less than stellar season. It'll be interesting to see how they turn around. February 3rd, Inter Miami returns back to the Florida Blue Training Center. And then the 11th, the 15th, and the 18th are all slated to be scrimmages of some sort versus to be determined teams. And the 11th and 15th show as closed door, and the 18th shows as more details to come. It's interesting that they're looking to play the 18th because then they have the first game of the season on the 25th. So I'm not sure how too close I'd be pushing a match or a scrimmage or anything like that to that opening kickoff date. But hey, that's just me. So that's pretty much the rundown for the preseason schedule, my man.
All right, now we had to do the regular season schedule. So kicking off, start February 25th. February 25th. It feels like it's been a long off season because they finished early for the World Cup, right? But hey, if I know things change quickly in the MLS, but just looking at our first three opponents here, man, we're Montreal, Philly, New York City. They're throwing us to the wolves right here. It's season schedule's out, baby. February 25th is when we're going to get it cracking. It's going to be a fun time. Friendly reminder, if you don't have Apple TV, go ahead and buy Apple TV or Apple Plus. I don't even know. I don't have it yet. I'm going to buy it as well. But yeah, man, it's coming. What day is it now? I don't even know. Time is a construct. I've slept like 8 hours in 4 days probably. It's the 13th. So about 42 days. Something like that. Then we're going, buddy. When are you coming down, man?
Currently, as it stands, it depends on Riley's schedule and my work schedule, but I am going to be baptized in the Orlando Inter Miami rivalry. It will be my first rivalry game. Looking to coming down the 20th. So we will, that's going to be the annual Fan Fest. If you're looking to join up, we'll have more details posted. And by details, I mean,
May 20th.
So I said May 20th.
Sorry, I said the 20th. Just want to let everyone know if they want to get a chance to see the absolute unit himself.
Not so much anymore, but I appreciate it. So yeah, May 20th, it's looking like that. I mean, depending on logistics, how much I've got going on up here. If not, I think I wanted to come down for the Austin game, which is the first, which is generally when I come down around that time anyways. So it's going to be an interesting gauntlet because around then is all the East Coast games I tend to hit up: Red Bull, NYCFC, DC, Union, the whole 9 yards. So, yes, sir.
And fun notables to round out this season in October: Chicago, Cincinnati, Charlotte. Hey. It's a pretty friendly schedule to finish out the season. Hopefully, we'll be locked in well before them. A little too early. We'll do our predictions on the next show. We're going to do over-unders again. We're going to send it out to all the people that will be joining the IMPC universe with their content that they're sharing with you guys as well. So we will have that so everyone can hold us accountable, so everyone can make fun of me for being so high on Rodolfo Pizarro, or so I can feel once again elated that I am somewhat maybe not even semi-intelligent, but maybe I get every once in a while. Get right every once in a while. There we go. Other news, buddy. Who joined Brentford? The Bees. B squad.
Romeo Beckham is joining Brentford's B team on a deal I was actually kind of shocked about. I was kind of surprised. I mean, yes, Daddy Beck's there probably wants him to get a little more experience playing a little higher caliber level, but he was really gelling with the team at Inter Miami too, and he was really well liked across the board. He did lead Inter Miami too with 10 assists last year, so maybe. I mean, I can't sit here and say I'm in the mind of David Beckham, but maybe he's looking to try and get him toughened up and get him a little more higher level experience, like I said, to get him ready for the MLS.
I mean,
maybe he's trying to get him away from the team. I don't know.
He can have the opportunity to like touch Ivan Toney.
Why would you want to do that?
Because Ivan Toney is one of the best strikers in the league, in the EPL, and you're gonna have the opportunity to just see that man in his presence.
I mean, okay.
Statistically speaking, he's top 3. Okay. Don't want to hear it. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I saw a lot of chatter online coming from the Brits on the Mirror or some, whatever those really horribly inaccurate media outlets the UK has. It is wild. You thought the United States media outlets were stupid, and they are. But man, the Brits are really going all for it. A lot of people hating on him, saying it's only because he's Beckham's son, making fun of him, making fun of his brother, who is a chef. Shout out Brooklyn. And is, I'm going to say rare pot roast he did that people were saying was, not even cooked, whatever. They don't know good meats. Brits like to chew leather, I guess. Who knows? But listen, man, yeah, the guy, his stats back it up for him. He played quite well for Inter Miami too. So best of luck. Go here, make your father proud. We are open for it. And we did get a new coach for Inter Miami too, a familiar face, someone I think most of the fan base loves and admires. Who was that, bud?
Somebody by the name of how do you pronounce it? Federico Higuain.
Federico.
There you go.
I'm still working on rolling my R's. Sorry.
I'm still working on just being able to pronounce R's.
Pipa, not Pepita, but Pipa.
Yes. No, it's actually a great move by the organization. Bringing him in, allowing his expertise to be taught to the kids down at Inter Miami too, and to a lesser extent, the Inter Miami Academy. Somebody who, I mean, I don't need to speak for him. Well liked. His accolades in the MLS speak for itself. It's a great move.
Fire move. I agree. Look forward to it. Going to be an exciting season for both the first team and Inter Miami too. MLS Next still going to be streamed online. Is that correct? Am I correct in that assumption?
I do believe
MLSnextpro.com, whatever the website is.
I do believe so, but I think they're also keeping a lot close to their vest right now. Okay. Somebody was asking about it. I tried looking it up, and it wasn't concrete as to what they were doing.
Okay, and look, man, guys, girls, everyone listening, go to a game and go watch Inter Miami too. Those are the up and coming stars. It's not nearly as packed, much more intimate. It's cheap. Go have fun. Take the family out there. Buy the kiddo some hot dogs. Every kid loves a hot dog. If they don't, they're not American.
And to that point though, you also have a better chance of rubbing shoulders with some of the first team guys. Bex has definitely made a few appearances to the Inter Miami 2 games. Yep. It is quality footy. It is quality footy. So you're not sure you want to come out to an Inter Miami game? So be it. Go check out the Inter Miami 2. It's a great time, and got some great up and coming players.
Yep. And get Apple Plus, man. Reach out to your family. See who in your family already owns Apple Plus. Apple lets you add up to 6 people in a family plan. The only thing I still leech off my parents for is Apple Music, baby. And thank God my brother-in-law, shout out my sister for marrying a king. He's got an Apple Plus subscription, so I'll be jacking that from him. I give him the Disney, he gives me the Apple Plus. Boom. You don't want to miss any of this. It's all one game. No more blackouts, no more of that stuff. If I'm out of the country doing sketchy things in South America, like I love to do every year, I'll still be able to watch the games, which I'm very much looking forward to. That wraps it up. I'm sure we butchered some stuff. I'm sure we might have been inaccurate, but hey, we're getting the rust off. We're back, baby. It feels good. It feels so damn good to be back. Thank you for allowing us back into your AirPods, your headphones, your car on the way to work, your speaker at home, whatever it is. We love you guys. We really do. Happy to be back. Before we sign off, as always, Dan, got anything you want to share?
No.
All right.
No, I am on that last leg of 24 hours being up straight. So no, I have nothing else to add except for thank you, La Familia. Thank you for everybody who supports us, reaches out to us on social media, blows us up, tells us that we're wrong about our sources, tells us that we're right, loves what we're doing. We're here for you. We do this for you guys. Nobody else. We don't do it for our health, clearly. So
no. We are two very sleep deprived dads. But
yes,
we do it for the community. It's always for the community. And as we end every single episode, Vamos Miami.
Vamos Miami.
Cheers, everyone. We'll see you soon.